Hello and welcome everybody. It's Rose Smith here from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks so much for joining me today. I've got the Virgo November horoscope to hand. That's what I'll be talking about today. Just to briefly explain what I do, I like to draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for the month for you. And if you're new, subscribe, be alive and hit that notification bell right now. There's a lot of planets going into Sagittarius, which this month is going to affect your home and family. There's also a lunar eclipse coming up, which is going to really shake things up in your life, especially if you feel a bit unmotivated or jaded. Maybe you don't have much energy or life is just boring. So this is all about expanding your life in some way. So, sometimes a lunar eclipse isn't that pleasant, but it's the kind of thing that we need to have sometimes in order to get us to wake up and see, how, we can expand our life further, expand our horizons. Life is so much more than what we actually currently know. Okay, let's go to the board now and have a look. Get rid of my notes here. Okay, right. We're going to draw the cards first, and first card will be the first half of the month, and the second card will be the second half of the month. Okay, for Vivacious Virgo, November 2022. What do I see? Wow, this is weird. You know those ring pulls on cans of drink and such like, and you pull the ring? It's like somebody's wearing one of those, like a wedding ring. But then it turns into a proper ring. So you might start off initially thinking something isn't very good, but you're sort of, putting up with it, or you can't be bothered to change, or whatever the reason. But it's not a very good, it's a cheap, shoddy sort of situation. But then it changes into a proper wedding ring, which means as you gradually assimilate the energy around whatever the issue is, it actually becomes a really valuable thing. Okay, so you could learn a lot. Let's see what card we get for that. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles. So this might be something to do with your money or your possessions. Maybe you've got a whole lot of things there in your home that you don't use, and it's time to get rid of them and sell them on Facebook or Gumtree if you're in Australia, or Craigslist or something. Of course, you have to take security precautions and things like that. But you'll see here, this is a very astute businesswoman. Often she does work from home, and she's quite clever, and people actually look up to her, and they may even go to her for advice. This is the energy you're taking on at the beginning of the month. And then she's all dressed in red. So then she takes action, and she can make money out of, she can see situations and opportunities which other people don't see. So you might have a whole closet full of stuff that, old sports equipment, for example, or those bike exercise machines, or, any number of things that you could sell. I don't know if eBay's still doing second-hand stuff. I heard they were getting out of it. I don't really know, to be quite honest. But look, there are places you can sell stuff. So, and there is a lot more energy around this month for achievement as well. And you have a lot of stuff going on concerning your 4th house here of home and family, and a lunar eclipse there. So this is perfect for you. This month coming up in November. All right, Virgo, let's have a look at the second half of the month. And what do I see? There's a door opening up in front of me, and it's sort of going back and forward like the wind. You could be changing your mind about something. You think you're going to finish something, and then you decide, no, you're going to keep it. You want that situation. Maybe it is stuff around the house. You've got to make decisions about what you keep and what you let go of. And yeah, it can be stuff, or it could even be relationships. Maybe you've got frenemies, people you don't really get on with, but you have to make the effort. They could be in a family, for example, and what are you going to do? How are you going to handle that situation? All right, the card that comes up is the Four of Wands. This is a window of opportunity that suggests it's time for you to enjoy the harvest of your good work. Again, I come back to this idea of selling stuff around the house. You can turn your stuff into money so that you can actually enjoy yourself. There seems to be with this, though, a limited time period. It's a limited window of opportunity, not always there. So, yeah, maybe stuff's going out of style. Records, for example. We've got friends that have got thousands and thousands of old records. And it's like, well, you don't play them, so why don't you sell them? Or my husband has friends, male friends, and they seem to collect bikes. So even his brother, I'm probably talking out of school here, his brother has a stack of different motorbikes. His friend's got 33 motorbikes. I mean, it's just crazy. So this is the kind of idea where you can transform things, and there's a lot of growth that comes with it, and clean up your home or organize your home life, and just generally be happier. Okay, sometimes I always think of picnics. I always think of going on a picnic with this card. So get out, do something different, okay, in the second half of the month, especially if the weather's good. We're having terrible weather here in Australia at the moment. There's lots of floods. Even down south of here, it is absolutely terrible. People losing their homes, being flooded out. But even where I am in Queensland, there is a lot of rain, and the temperature is not as warm as it normally would be. The weather is just screwy. Okay, let's look at your horoscope in depth now. I'm going to make this bit bigger, like that, move it up like that so you can see it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is this thing called a T-square. There's actually a few T-squares here, but they involve the sun and they involve the moon, so they don't last very long, maybe a few days. But I wanted to focus on this one, which lasts longer. So it's involving Uranus, Venus, and Saturn. Uranus can bring a sort of awareness that you feel restricted in some way. Maybe you've wanted to grow your life or expand or do new things, be adventurous, have some sort of excitement in your life, and you feel like you're being held back. And that might be by any sort of work you have to do on a daily basis, like your regular, normal sort of humdrum routine type work. Could be holding you back in some way. And here Venus is often to do with relationships with other people. Here in the third house, not so much. It's just maybe the smooth kind of relationships, or the smooth, polite, charming communications that you normally might like to indulge in. You might find yourself being a little bit short with people, or a bit irritable because you feel frustrated, okay, because you haven't been able to expand your horizons. Maybe you want to travel overseas, but COVID or money or something is holding you back from doing that. This is the house of the higher mind, and it is about expanding your mental horizons. So sometimes we do that through spirituality. Maybe you don't feel perhaps, or there may be a situation where spiritually you don't feel comfortable in coming out and just being authentic about who you spiritually are, because people have expectations. Family members might have expectations about how what you do. They expect you to be a certain religion, or they expect you to be no religion, or whatever it is, and it's not authentic for you. So there's this big clash or challenge that goes on between growing your life and also keeping smooth communications going with other people. This area here in your chart can also relate to distant relatives like cousins or maybe siblings that you haven't heard of or heard from for a long time. But the thing that happens as all these planets, heavenly bodies, move around the chart is they lose these aspects and they take up new aspects. So even though this is in opposition, it doesn't mean it will remain that way. It will gradually, because Venus is quite fast moving, so a few weeks. But this Uranus-Saturn square has been going on and off for the last few years. It is a difficult one. And so this is not the first time probably that you've had to deal with this problem. But yeah, it must be coming to an end soon. I must look up the date because it has been at least 2 years. It's been, off and on every time it comes and has a direct hit. So authority figures, perhaps in your work or your everyday life, or maybe even to do with your health, might not be as good as you would like, and the doctor's saying, well, you can't do that. You can't go overseas when you've got a heart condition or something, or you can't go overseas because you can't afford to catch COVID in that tin can that we have to fly and breathe everybody else's breath. Everybody else's breath going throughout the whole tin can. Yeah, I know, that's the thing I think about. Anyway, you will find a balance here, like a pendulum swinging, and there will be some life expansion one way or another. It is amplified by the full moon lunar eclipse on the 8th as well, shaking things up here. And then we find Jupiter goes direct on the 23rd, and where's Jupiter? Here in your 7th house of committed relationships. It's also legalities and open enemies, and things will start to move forward. So if you've got a partner or some legalities, you might find that things start moving on that, and you finally feel like you're getting somewhere. Okay. Open enemies are just people you don't get on with. You know that you don't get on with them. They probably know that you don't get on with them. I mean, we can't expect that we get on with everyone. But yeah, there could be some sort of positive that comes out of that after the 23rd. Also, your ruler Mercury goes into Sagittarius. This bodes well for communications around home and family. There's a lot happening here. It brings some sort of, because the lunar eclipse, it's up here, sorry. The lunar eclipse up here brings some sort of turbulence, but also some sort of concrete transformation and manifestation. So there's going to be something real and physical that happens, and you might feel more energetic and adventurous, perhaps. Now, on the 9th, Venus moves into Sag, bringing a lovely, comfortable, loving, affectionate tone to your relations with family members and also friends coming to your home. Something could happen around your home with so much planetary influence here. You might decide you want to redecorate or renovate because Venus loves beautiful things, and you'll feel quite strongly about starting new things at home or with your family. And there could be lots of contact with your family, maybe entertaining friends at home as well. Lots of insight and awareness around this, fresh new ideas, various communications. Mercury brings travel sometimes, travel opportunities, and the Sun brings happiness and comfort and security. You might find family members return home for a visit or perhaps longer. The new moon brings new beginnings that could pay off quite well down the track. Okay, so from the 14th to the 21st, Mars squares Neptune. Just watch this time because sometimes it's a bit confusing. You might feel like you're walking along in a forest and don't know which path to take or what you're supposed to do. Just be gentle, don't push yourself or do too much. It's a great time to go on a picnic relax, enjoy the harvest of your work. Although it is confusing, it is a great time for fantasy and imagination. If you're an artist or a musician, you might create something really spectacular. It's a very inspired, fertile time for creativity. 15th to the 22nd, Mars trines the Moon. You're more likely to be quite instinctual, emotional. Maybe you react on impulse, so your life responses to life are more childlike, and so they are more natural and authentic. Okay, it's a great time to go out with friends and enjoy yourself, and maybe go to a rock concert or a football game. 28th of November to the 3rd of December, Mars trines Saturn, giving you excellent concentration, and you'll probably be feeling more serious about any work you have to do. And especially that kind of work that's, requires detailed attention, the painstaking, disagreeable tasks, or what would normally be frustrating work, but it doesn't seem to bother you now because you have more self-control and self-discipline. But the good thing is that there'll probably be positive results that come out in the long term. Then we have the 26th of November to the 2nd of December, Mars sextiles your MC, which is fabulous because you'll probably get an objective or an idea in your mind and you'll work patiently towards it. If you are working, you're likely to advance your professional goals. Other people will probably help you out, especially those people that are in authority. People may see you as some sort of leader. Particularly to do with your reputation, and if you're online, you'll probably find your reputation growing. People respond favourably and they have more confidence in you. You probably have some brilliant idea about how to attack a problem, how to solve a problem that might have been hanging around for people for some time. Alrighty, so that's it. We've got a very interesting month. It's an exciting month. It's an adventurous month. Yes, there are some challenges, but nothing you can't handle. These are the types of challenges, squares, particularly where, it's not pleasant at the time, but it yields fruit. And so, you're in a better place because of them. Okay, so that's it, everyone. I hope you find this useful. Let me know in the comments. And I hope your month goes well for you. If you are new, subscribe and be live and hit that notification bell right now. Have a wonderful month, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website, absolutesoulsecrets.com, for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.